welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, again, a very short break. Hope you enjoyed that brutal OST while it was going, as we are jumping into a round of 16 match. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our blue Protoss player. We have representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player from the land of South Korea, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our ZvP, and as we jump into Amygdala. Here we go. SKillous setting up here on the low ground, meanwhile Rogue going for the initial hatch gas pull. Now Rogue here does have a very distinct style in these matchups. In both ZvT and ZvP, Rogue's go-to is to try to be greedy, is to try to get into the mid game and try to rush into lurker tech. Now we'll see if that is going to be the case here on Amygdala. Amygdala is one of the larger maps in the map pool, so I do expect that to be the case from Rogue. We'll keep an eye on him. We'll see if that is the case here, or if he tries to be a little bit more aggressive instead. Likewise, SKillous, he has been one to vary up his builds. For the most part, he's also very mid-game oriented as well, though. Not really one to open up Twilight Council too often, into Glaives, into Dark Templar, into Charge. That just isn't typically SKillous's go-to. We'll keep an eye on him. For now, standard openers. SKillous does confirm no additional gases, no additional tech. And likewise, he's even forcing this one drone to chase him around, so even here dealing some economic damage, as that's one extra worker that isn't mining. So nice damage here from SKillous, as he does pull away. Does pull out, does pull away. Likewise, Rogue just going for his initial opener, droning, getting into queen production, does pull out of gas. So no early gas income, no early, say, Evo Chamber or Roach Warren or Lair. Does pull out. From here, Rogue, he will gain map control. Back at home, we have our tech of choice, so we do see Skills going for his Stargate opener. Again, makes sense, as we mentioned, like, he isn't really one to open up Twilight Council first too often at all. Maybe on some smaller maps like Whispers of Gold. On these larger ones, it is typically wiser to just open up Stargate, get a third base, and open up Oracle. Now, we do have the option for Skills to open up into a Void Ray instead. Both openers have their place, whether it's Oracle first or Void Ray. Void Ray is designed to hide tech and to keep the Zerg player guessing. Oracle is designed to be safe, to gain you map control, to scatter across the map, and potentially deal economic damage. And it is going to be the Void Ray. Okay. Does rally over towards the first Overlord, and as we just mentioned, the goal here is to hunt down the Overlords and to keep Rogue in the dark as to what comes next. Now, SKillous, he may hide tech, or he may not. That's what's dangerous about this opener here. We could see a Twilight Council immediately before the third base into Glaives, into a commitment into Glaive Adepts. We could see a Fleet Beacon into a fast Mothership, Fleet Beacon into Tempest Rush or Carrier Rush, second Stargate into Mass Oracle if we were casting a hero, for example, or we could even just see a third base into a later Twilight Council and Forge, which would be a standard opener. We could see something standard, we could see something different, something more aggressive. But now, Void Ray moves out. Now, the reason why you want to avoid the initial Overlord is because that Overlord's already dead. The reality is that Overlord, it's already dead, so no reason to go for it. Instead, does move out, catches another Overlord, and now that forces Rogue to respond, and there it is instantly. Overlords, they come back home. Overlords, they race back home. If the initial Overlord was hunted first, then Rogue would have had time to save the Overlord that just died. So Skillous does get a second Overlord, nicely done. Rogue goes for a very fast lair. That was like, what, a 4-minute lair timing? Jesus. So fast lair out of Rogue. Overlords are falling. And so far it looks like, oh, I was going to say a standard follow-up. There we go. I was waiting for the Forge. Waiting for the Forge. Going to be a slightly delayed Forge here from SKillous. Going for a slightly earlier Gateway. Sorry, slightly earlier Twilight Council, I should say. Working towards +1 and Blink. SKillous does move out, getting his third base up and running. Now, with this fast lair, it will give access to Rogue to have a faster Overseer Scout. So that is going to be available. Otherwise, I don't see a Roach Warren. This otherwise might just be Lings into Hydras. I mentioned at the start of the game that Rogue's go-to style in this matchup is to rush into Lurker Tech. Yeah, there it is. There's that Hydra Den. And the goal should be to get into a fast infestation bit into fast Lurkers. That's typically Rogue's go-to. I'll say he does it every game, but like at least 70% of the time. Like most of the time. That's what he embraces. Now SKillous, he does a pull away. We just see the follow-up here, not going into Colossus, going into Storm. Getting to a splash damage of choice. Likewise, we'll threaten the Shade. Lings are in position. Rogue getting fully saturated on 3 bases. We'll soon take a 4th. Until then, it's keeping up. Keeping up. Now, what's scary about what Rogue is doing and why he should be rushing towards Lurker Tech is because he did skip melee. He did skip melee, and yep, speaking of rushing into Lurkers, there's the infestation bit into fast Hive, into fast Lurker Tech. And again, this is just a style that Rogue is very fond of. If he were to stay on Ling Hydra, then he would have gone for melee earlier instead of +1 range, just so his Lings could be more of a supportive unit for his Hydras and be more effective. The fact that there is no melee upgrade means that he has no real intention of investing too heavily into Lings and spending too much time on Ling Hydra. Dome Storm is on the way. Now, if at the start of the game we can be like, oh no, yeah, Rogue, he likes going, like rushing into Lurker Tech, that's like his go-to style. SKillous probably knows the same thing. SKillous, he probably knows that as well. So we're gearing up towards a longer game state here. We should be working towards a 4th base and working towards Sky Toss. That would be the ideal. But for now, we're committing here to a ground-based composition. Meanwhile, from Rogue, there it is, Hive into Lurker Tech. Into those Lurker upgrades, and we shouldn't be seeing Rogue be aggressive until he maxes out on Lurkers. I say max out until he reaches like 180 supply, until he's able to get a comfortable count of Hydra Lurker, then he can start being active. Usually he does focus more on maxing first, on getting a secure economy, getting into Nidus play, and then harassing with Nidus Worms. Meanwhile, SKillous, as we mentioned, there is that Fleet Beacon working towards Sky Toss. Now, my one criticism here for SKillous is that it does feel like his Sky Toss transition is a little bit late. I feel like we could have seen the Fleet Beacon a little bit earlier, and his second Stargate a little bit earlier as well. So I do feel like there's going to be a window in time where Rogue is going to have Lurker Tech, and SKillous is going to be stuck with a ground army. So I do think there's a window where Rogue can abuse SKillous. So far, Storm is going to zone away. Rogue threatening a push. Lurkers are morphing in. And here they come. Initially we have 6, soon to be 9 Lurkers. Lurkers are revealed, Mothership's on the way. Decent Storm, Stasis not quite connecting. Storms are popping up. Lurkers are gaining ground. Tempest production has begun, but again, it's only 1 Stargate. Like, SKillous, he wasn't really ready for this. As you can see, the Lurkers just edging their way closer towards the expansion. SKillous, he's up against the wall. What's up against his own Nexus? The decent Storm, softening up some of those Lurkers. 1 Lurker goes down. Nice initial pickoff, but there's still, what, 9 Lurkers left. The concave has been set up. Oh, gets another Lurker. Nice pickup. Stasis goes off. Another Storm and another Lurker. Lings, they collapse in, and Rogue is going for it. Is trying to at least take down a High Templar. Templar goes down. Tempest has arrived. And again, it's just the 1 Tempest. SKillous, he has money, but he can't spend it. He has almost 1,000 gas and almost 2,000 minerals. Does need that second Stargate. Cloak comes in. Ooh, no detection. Nice timing here. With the help of Cloak, finally Rogue, he's forced back. SKillous trying to reinforce, but again, SKillous having a really hard time spending his money here. Just now going for a second Robo. Nice pickups. Oh, detection coming in. A 1-9 Templar goes down. He gets one, almost a second. Yeah, barely does get 2 High Templar. Better storm towards the end. Nice low zone. But this is still on a knife's edge here for SKillous, as finally we get 2 more Stargates, but these are so late. Late production, late tech. I still want to give Rogue the advantage for the time being, at least until SKillous can stabilize, and he isn't there yet. Oh no! He's getting caught out. Yeah, massive catch here at Templar. They barely do escape. Not even 1, 2 High Templar go down. Almost 3. Brutal pickoffs. SKillous caught out in the open. Has to pull away, has to retreat. Now he's making 3 Tempests at a time. SKillous is getting there again. He's stabilizing. He's stabilizing on a higher tech army. He's almost there. And that should force out Vipers and Corruptors. Should force out Vipers, Aspire. Aspire's already done. No Spire upgrades yet, so Rogue is not quite where he wants to be. Once the Sky Toss really builds up. Now they're rotating and is looking to deny the center expansion. We force back though. And peels off a couple of lurkers. Next is going to be denied. There's no detection. Oh, there's a cancel. Nice revelation. We'll hunt down at least 2 of these lurkers. Gets 1. Ah, just the 1. Just 1 lurker goes down. Ling Rumba here towards the natural. There is a full wall. Despite that, the Lings, they will find some damage. Okay, 2 shield batteries and a pylon. Not bad. Nation of the lurkers. And SKillous, he's maxing out. Now, the problem, though, is that SKillous, he needs an expansion. He does need another... Oh, no! Oh, my God. He move commits in. Does stumble onto the army. And please add a lot of Stalkers. And here we go. Rogue is coming in to punish. Shuts down one of the Tempest. He goes to the Mothership. Mothership will pull away in time. But there's not that many Stalkers. Not anymore. Nice Storm. Very nice Storm. Whew. SKillous holds. SKillous, he does hold. He did lose 2 Tempests in the process, but he shuts down 8 Corruptors. So not a bad trade here for SKillous. But again, he needs that gold base, and this is not an easy base to take. Not with that map control. Oh. Tempests are tied up here with the Lings. Lurkers are coming from behind, and the ground army is cornered. Uh-oh. And SKillous, there's no way out of this. He's, oh no. He is cornered here in the map. Lurkers, they do dive in. And there's no recalling. He tries to, but he's gonna lose everything. Yeah, SKillous is baited into the corner. He will lose his army. Down to 2 Tempests and a handful of Stalkers, and now it's go time. Rogue, he gains massive momentum. Is pushing 40, he's going for the kill. Zorama will deny an expansion, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, not anymore. Against SKillous, he was lured into the corner of the map. He got surrounded, he got locked down. And SKillous, he would lose everything. GG gets called, and Rogue will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, this is Rogue's go-to here, is just be very defensive, is just focus on the economy, focus on teching, focus on rushing into lurker tech, and then once he gets his lurkers up and running, then he can be aggressive himself. And we saw that SKillous, he was a little bit late to realize what was going on. If you remember, my big criticism was when SKillous threw down the fleet beacon, he did not throw down Stargates, and he had the money for it. He had the money for it, he had the resources for it, but he did not throw down his Stargates, so he could only make 1 Tempest at a time for so long, so it took him so long to actually get into his Sky Toss and to have an army to contest against the Hydra Lurker of Rogue. By the time he did, Rogue, he already had map control, and as you saw, he was just pulling SKillous apart. With that, GG. GG, well played. Rogue, he will take the lead in the series, and we'll see if Rogue can claim it all, or if SKillous can bounce back and force the ace match. Let's go. We'll see if he can bring it back. As a lot of this will come down to the map as well. Rogue, he's very fond of, this more defensive, tech-heavy style, but he doesn't do that every game. On smaller maps like Whispers of Gold, like Ultra Love, I I'm on the fence on Ultra Love at least, but on some of these smaller maps, he is more willing to be more aggressive and be more mid-game oriented, so curious to see what the vetoes were and what map we're loading into. Ooh, okay, as we are spawning into a rush map. Up next, Sandworm. Let's go. Sandworm is one of the new TLMC 20 maps. Again, a map that we did feature quite a lot over the weekend as well. If you remember, this is the map that does feature the Dragon's Teeth in the center of Sandworm, which can actually make for some very interesting engagements and very interesting fights as well. Likewise, the map itself is quite small, short rush distance by ground, but, you know, those Dragon's Teeth do complicate things when it comes to center engagements. We'll see. We'll see how both SKillous and Rogue will approach this. So we're jumping into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sandworm, we have our blue Protoss player. We have representing Team Liquid down in the series. See if we can bounce back and force that ace match. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg himself from South Korea representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And already, this bodes well. Remember, there is a veto process, and in both series, players are already embracing the TLMC maps. Now, does that say something about the current map pool? A little bit, I would say. There's definitely a lot to be desired with the current map pool, and already players are jumping at the heels to get into some of these newer maps instead, which I do appreciate. Meanwhile, Rogue forsake the unnatural natural, as SKillous does deny. As we get into game 2, big shout out to Complete in the chat. Papi, thank you so much for subscribing for 13 months, for over a year of support. Thank you, Papi, thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft as well. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it, as always. Do appreciate it, Papi. Beautiful. So here are settling into Sandworm. SKillous going for a stand opener, going for a gate expand. Meanwhile, SKillous going for his third base. Again, the rush distance by ground on this map is very short rush distance by ground. Likewise, just a very congested map in general. And in the center, we have, as I mentioned before, these Dragon Teeth. These are cones in the center. They are spread out in such a way where some units can traverse through, others cannot. This is more restrictive than Neon Violet Square. Neon Violet Square, most units can actually pass through the Pachinko machine, not all but most. Here, only small units. I'm saying workers, marines, zealots, zerglings, adepts, sentries. Certain small units can fit, but larger units cannot. When I say a larger unit, imagine a stalker. Stalker cannot move through this. An immortal cannot move through this. An archon can't move through this. Roaches cannot move through this either. So yeah, we do have quite a restrictive kind of like area here in the center, which can lead to some interesting engagements. Likewise, we have more teeth here on the right. Likewise, more teeth over towards the left as well. We'll see if they come into play. So far, we do see a SKillous moving out with his initial scouting adept. Likewise, once again, Stargate open out to SKillous. Game 1, it will Stargate into Void Ray. We'll see if he goes for the same opener or if he goes for an Oracle first instead. Now, in general, I do like the idea of opening up Void Ray multiple times in the series and mixing up the build, but this time that is not the case. It is going to be the Oracle opener instead. So Oracle first by SKillous, not Void Ray. The goal here is to move out and potentially get some economic damage. We'll see if SKillous can pull it off. We shall see. That picks in. Takes down the tumor. Very nice catch. Tumor goes down. SKillous pulling back. Saturating his third. Oh! Saturating his third base, advancing on forward, getting to a second Oracle as well. So far, no major economic damage. Meanwhile, the follow-up is Standard, Forge, and the Twilight Council into +1 and Blink on the way from SKillous. Nothing crazy yet. As Rogue does invest into an extra wave of Lings. We have 12 more Lings on the way, so Lings, they do move out, but there are plenty of Oracles to defend. These Lings, they should not find too much damage, but they will at least keep the Oracles busy. Yeah, they distract the Oracles. They allow Rogue to drone and to be uncontested here back at home. The mineral lines are safe and sound. A couple of Lings do fall. And Rogue goes for a later lair. Okay. Is going to be a later lair here from Rogue. Did begin at around the 440 mark. Meanwhile, last game we saw it was around 4 minutes, if not earlier than that. It was crazy. Oh, takes down both tumors. Oh my god. Does take down the tumor. Nice pickoff. +1 Blink is on the way, as we did mention. We have a Gateway Explosion. We're getting up to 6 gates for the time being. Did I say 6? Ooh, getting up to 7, getting up to 8. Oh my god! 3-base all in. We're going for a 3-base all in. SKillous is going for a massive Gateway Explosion, and he is not taking his gases at his third base. We are committing here into purely +1 Blink Stalkers. Question becomes, how many gateways? The answer, currently 8. Most likely there's going to be 9, maybe even 10. What I'm referring to here is there's no Robo. There's no Robo, which means there's no Warp Prism. The goal should be to throw down a proxy across the map to reinforce. As Stalkers, they do push. The Lings just try to come in from behind. And there's going to be a big scout. Rogue, he confirms no gases. No gases here at the third base. Extra Stalkers are warping in. And SKillous, he is about to commit. There's still no probe with the main army, so there's no proxy pylon yet, which is surprising to me. So you see a SKillous rotating. Rogue did skip his Roach Warren, so it's going purely Ling Hydra. Oh, hello. SKillous, he's going for the gold. Now, this is an interesting decision here. SKillous, he's getting into charge +2. Oh, the goal base is scouted though. Yeah, the goal base is going to be scouted. But SKillous, he's still not taking his gases. So the sign of not taking gases here is a sign that obviously there's no further tech, there's no Storm, there's no Colossus, there's no Immortal production, right? There's no further tech. It's purely a gateway army. But what this goal base allows SKillous to do is to reinforce with a massive amount of charge lots. So that's going to be quite a way to kind of transition out of the initial HK 3-base all-in into a 4-base setup with a big prioritization on mineral income. As he's moving out. As he moves out, the Lings, they just keep on counterattacking. Once again, just forcing SKillous back. Yep, he has to turn back around. Despite having this large army, he just hasn't been able to make use of it. Not yet. But I think this is okay. So this is kind of a weird build out of SKillous. It's unique, and it's making use of the map itself. Again, he has no plans to tech, but he is going to hit with +2. There's going to be a strong +2 timing available here with all these charge lots. He's not there yet, but he's getting there. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Rogue coming in for the surround. Ooh, the recoil does not quite catch all the Stalkers. Ooh, and this is brutal. So many Stalkers going to be going down here. Every unit counts. And ideally, SKillous, he wants to preserve his army because he's all in. Like, he wants to preserve it. He wants to build up towards his initial push, but that's not happening. Oh, boy. And Rogue, he's choking himself up a little bit here. The Banelings, they trap the Hydras. Hydras are trapped. Rogue has to pull away. As he does break out. Does break out, does rotate. Nightmare's trying to collapse in. Nice station traps here on the Banelings. Meanwhile, the Hydras are exposed. Where are the Lings? If we need Ling support here. Lings not available. Banelings rolling in. So far, there's no charge to support. The Banelings, they trade against Stalkers. Not the best trade here for Rogue. Banelings, they do not get into the mineral line. Again, Banelings, they tickle Stalkers. And Rogue, he plummets in supply. And SKillous, he's pushing through. He's pushing through. Again, just purely a gateway composition. Now getting into +1 armor. Without any Banelings, now there's going to be time for Charge Lots to actually reign supreme. And here they come. The Charge Lots, they are warping in. And he's getting up to, I believe that's a 11 or 12 gate setup. 11. So he's getting up to 11 gateways. And again, he has the support of this gold. Now he takes the Gas Geyser. This Gas Geyser is the first sign that now we can start to afford something greater, more than just a gateway army. It's going to be for a second forge. Second forge on the way. Rogue is still on the back foot. Again, Rogue, he committed quite hard. And Rogue himself hasn't been droning. Rogue, he got up to, what, 3.5 base, almost 4 base saturation, 73 workers. That is okay, but he isn't taking up any further. He's not droning up any further, not yet. He wants the gold base for himself. But Rogue, he's stuck on Ling Hydra. Or Ling Bane Hydra. So this is very much so on a knife's edge. This can still go either way. He rotates over to the bottom right. Takes down the Lings. Oh, Banelings, they will crash into the Charge Lots. Not bad. The Charge Lots are called out. SKillous, let's get the hell out of here. Does need to pull away. So run by is denied by the Hydras, and now we can see Rogue taking. Rogue, he's still on 76 workers, but he can soon saturate the gold. Soon. Likewise, working towards Hive Tech. Until then, trying to keep up with SKillous. SKillous still investing in upgrades. Still hasn't taken his gases here at his third. So still purely Stalker Zealot. Now, what's concerning here is that this style that SKillous is going for doesn't have a lot of longevity. As we're trying to emphasize, like there's no Immortals, there's no Archons, there's no Storm, there's no Skytoss. There it is. Now we have a gas. Now we have another gas on the way. Now we can start to afford Storm and Archon production, so that's on the horizon. But there's a big window where Rogue could potentially abuse that if he were to have gotten into Lurker Tech. Invisation is done. No Hive yet, no Lurkers either. Still just Ling Bane Hydra. There it is. Hive it just began. Aliens, they are denied. They don't get into the mineral line. And SKillous, he is trading well. He's trading well against the Ling Bane. And likewise, he wants to catch these Banelings as well. Again, Banelings that don't really trade well against Stalkers at all. As you can see. Once again, nice movement. Oh, but we have an overwhelming number of Hydras here at the base. It's going to be denied. He wants the expansion, and he may just get it. Running out of Ling Bane, though. Uh-oh. As Ling Bane runs out, Hydra's going to be going down, but he does get the expansion. He has to get the hell out of here. Takes down the base. Keeps fighting. Do we have any charge reinforcements? Not yet. Where are the Zealots? SKillous, he does kite back. There we go. Zealots now warping in. He needs those reinforcements. As he does dive on those Hydras. And Rogue, he did overstay his welcome. After killing the base, he should have gotten the hell out of here, but he stuck around. And that's going to cost him these Hydras. Hydras are going to be falling. We have a couple of Ling reinforcements. Okay, whew, the Hydras do escape. Did lose 7 Hydras in the process. He maintains most of his army. And now it's time for Lunkers. It's time for the Lunkers, man. Lurker Den is on the way. Gold base is getting saturated. And now I have to be concerned for SKillous, because if we can get up to a high Lurker count, SKillous, he's once again not ready for that. He's not ready for that kind of tech. This kind of build that SKillous was going for was meant to kill Rogue like 5 minutes ago. like Rogue, he should be dead by now, but Rogue, he's been able to maintain his own economy, maintain map control. As SKillous, he can't take up into like Skytoss from here or into a more robot-heavy composition. Like he just wasn't really ready for that sort of thing. Wasn't banking on that. Nice catch with the Zealots, getting top of Hydras, not bad. And now Stargates, Fleet Beacons on the way. But again, SKillous, he needs time. He needs time for the Skytoss. These Zealots are the MVP. Oh my god, the Zealots, they get drone kills. 8 drones going down. 11 workers even. Very nice damage. Finally, some economic damage here in favor of SKillous. Trying to push forward here into these lurkers. Nice storm in the mineral line. Drones are going down. 23 drones. The Zealots in the main. They killed everything. Zealots in the main base plus the storms. 25 drone kills. Likewise, Zealots here at the third. Rogue getting pulled apart. And this is what SKillous needed. Now he has breathing room. And it's forcing Rogue back. Rogue down to 49 drones. And it isn't about killing Rogue here and now. It's about forcing Rogue to drone. That means he's not making units. He's not making army. Knight Templar. No! Knight Templar. They're going to go down. All three of them. Brutal pickoffs. Rogue, he does catch 3 Knight Templar. Still pushing forward. Spire is on the way. And SKillous, he still needs a little bit more time here for his Tempest. There we go. First Tempest has arrived. Oh no! He has the detection. Yeah, Revelation 1 second too late. It's a brutal blink. And once again, the expansion, it's gonna fall. Expansion is going down. And once again, it's this lurker timing. We saw it in game 1, now we're seeing it here. We got here in a different way, and this is a later lurker timing from Rogue in game 2, but we got there. And it's something that SKillous just can't contend with. Not yet. And he won't ever be able to deal with it without a base. Without another expansion, you can see the gold is running out of resources. Running out of mineral patches. Another Zealot run by gets 20. Jesus! 28 drone kills. Oh my god. These Zealot run-bys time and time again, catching Rogue completely off guard. The pants are down. This is like the Zerg hero. Except hero usually, even though his pants are down, he defends anyway. Rogue, not at all. He needs to learn from hero is what I'm saying. He needs to learn. Oh my god. Brutal storm. Was hero leaves the door open, but he punishes any kind of harassment. Here, Rogue, he just loses everything. That was how many? Those 57 drone kills. 57 workers go down. And with that, Rogue, he's running out of money. Straight up, he just broke. Rogue is broke. These Zealot run-bys have been the MVPs. They've been the MVPs for SKillous. Time and time again, they've just gotten in. And now the Tempest count, we've built up to how many? Built up to 6. 6 Tempests here for SKillous. Has plenty of Storm. SKillous now is double expanding. Gold base is gonna fall. That's the one gold base, the one base that's keeping Rogue in this game. The gold does crumble. And Rogue, he's down to what? He's down to half a mining base bottom right. He's down to some saturation here. Barely any mining going on. And SKillous, he's doing it. He's bringing us to the ace match. He's sending it, Bobby. He's sending it. Rotates bottom right. Army's out of position. Lurkers trying to dive in. Nice storm. Oh my god. Nice storm in the main army. Rogue has to fall back. SKillous, he gets a revelation. Takes out one of the lurkers. Main army diving in. Oof. Storms are going to be brutal though. Take down most of the Hydras and GG gets called. Yeah, Rogue just doesn't really have much left over. And SKillous ties up the series. We are going to game 3. GG. Whew. GG, well played. SKillous does tie things up. We are going to the ace match. A very intense game. And part of it is because of the size of the map. If you remember, Sandworm is a rush map. It is a rush map, very small map, short distance by ground. So we saw aggression from both sides. We saw that because of that, both players had a really awkward transition in towards that hive tech, in towards late game, where Rogue had later lurkers. Likewise, SKillous took him a long time to actually take gases and actually start working towards Storm and working towards Sky Toss as well. But what really clinched it out there for SKillous was the Zealot run-bys. Time and time again, we saw Zealots bust into the main, the natural, the third base, the fourth base, killing mineral line after mineral line, and Rogue was caught with his pants down. multiple times in that game, and that cost him the game itself. That harassment, those run-bys did cost him the game. He was unable to defend as he was being aggressive, and with that rogue, he ran out of steam, ran out of money. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match, and we'll see how this story ends as we load into our final map of the series. Where are we dropping? Oh, let's go! Once again, featuring some of the new TLMC maps, and again, both in the first series and in the second series, we are avoiding the old maps. We're loading into Persephone. Let's go. Just catching up in the chat. The battle pants are down. Oh no. Someone get those drones some pants. Someone. Oh no. We have pants down. Someone get the emergency pair. Not like this. So we're getting into our ace match, and this morning in the bottom left hand corner of Persephone, we have our blue Protoss player. We have a blue Protoss representing Team Liquid, tying up the series 1-1 and forcing the ace match. Can he keep going? Momentum is on his side. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, representing Team Falcons, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if he can bring it back. It is Rogue. Here we go. I can't believe these guys are still wearing pants at this point. If you don't have suspenders or a belt. True. I think the secret is, like, we joke about this unironically, like Hero, he's perfected the art of just playing without pants and just embracing it. Like he comes in already pantsless. He's ready to go. That's the secret. Hero, the door is always open. That's true, but Hero, he rarely loses probes. Like it's impressive how well Hero can defend, despite how many lings get into his natural and get into his main. it's crazy. It's crazy. Like Hero, he likes it. He likes having his pants down. Ah, no. It's crazy. It's crazy. He was born pantsless. He's in his element. But now, though, we're settling in to our ace match. Welcome one and all to Persephone. Persephone is another smaller map, a bit of a shorter rush distance by ground. Likewise, there is a goal base on the right-hand side. We have speed zones as well to add to even more flavor here on the right-hand side of the map. And we even have this healing shrine. Now, on the one hand, it's really cool to see all these unique features, goal base, speed zones, healing shrine, but it's all on the right-hand side. And for the most part, I mean, this map is short by air, short by ground. Aggression is favored here, so we actually haven't really seen much of this come into play. I say that infamously, Christiana, he was popping off against Bjorn on this map, and you could argue that Christiana should have beaten Bjorn. If you recall, when Bjorn was contained on 3 bases, Christiana, he had the goal base, he had bottom right, he had center right, like he had a booming economy, and Bjorn just refused to die. And eventually he overwhelmed Christiana. But outside of that, we haven't really seen any other player really take advantage of this location. We'll see if either one does this time. Once again, Stargate opener from SKillous. Yeah, that guy's be like light, no pants. Oh no. Ah, no. Not like this. That's SKillous, who does thread in the shade. Does initiate into the main base. Likewise, just keeping tabs here on Rogue. Rogue will take his third. And once again, 2 games in a row, SKillous will open up Oracle. Now, as a reminder, SKillous did open Void Ray in Game 1, but here in Game 2 and in Game 3, we've seen more standard openers, Oracles to harass, Oracles to scout, and we should be taking a third base behind this. So more standard play this time by SKillous. Does pull away the Adept, does take a bit of hull damage. Again, there is a healing shrine here, by the way, that we could make use of. Just saying. Heal off that Adept. Heroes don't need. Heroes don't wear pants. True. As that say shade into the natural. So far they can one-shot drones. They get one and they get 2 workers so far. Not bad, but ideally you want more than that. And it's only going to be 2 drones. So 2 drones for 2 adepts. I would say a better trade for Rogue, but the Oracle comes in for a drive-by here and gets 2 more. Just barely. Did I say 2? Gets 3. 5 in total. Not bad. 5 workers go down. Yo, can we heal this Oracle? Can that if we can, that's gonna be huge. We'll feature this at one point, eventually. So now Lings, they do rotate. Oh, but yeah, I'm just thinking here. So typically, health is a resource for oracles. Like straight up, HP is a resource for these oracles, and it is not uncommon to dive in, get 1, 2, 3 drone kills, but the oracles take a lot of hull damage, and specifically because Protoss units don't have a way to heal their units, like that's meaningful. That's typically meaningful damage. If something like a health pad comes into play, then suddenly that gets stripped away. True. Like that is a big factor here. Meanwhile, Lings, they do poke in. At the same time, Oracle Adept, they threaten a shade. Rogue, he's going for an early Evo Chamber into +1 melee. This is for Ling Hydra. Rogue, once again, he plans on skipping his Roach Warren. But unlike Game 1, he should be embracing Ling Bane Hydra in the mid-game. He's not rushing into Lurker Tech. Not this time. Meanwhile, Adept, they shade in. Ooh. Catch out a couple of workers. It's going to be 3 drones going down. As the Adept, they shade away. Barely shade out. SKillous establishing his 3rd. And building up towards Pulse 1 and Blink. Again, a standard follow-up here from SKillous. He still has these adepts that can threaten Rogue, but he's just building up towards that mid-game. Towards that proper 3-base saturation. Okay. So I did just confirm here. Basically, do you see these purple little circles or semicircles even around the healing shrine? Those are air blockers. So air units like oracles cannot use this, which I think is a good thing. So oracles, they cannot use the healing shrine as they are blocked by those air blockers. Only ground units can. And I feel like we have seen opportunities for adepts to maybe make use of it. I don't think SKillous or Rogue are aware of the healing shrine, I'll be honest. Meanwhile, Stalkers, they push out towards the left-hand side. Threatening the expansion. Lings, they come in for the surround, and he's going for the base. Can he get it? One more volley. He will get the expansion, but alas, Lings, they will punish this so hard. They come in for the full surround. Oracles, they try to support. Oracles are being targeted down as we speak, and so will the Stalkers. Yeah, I don't think this is worth it here. SKillous going to be losing everything. Every Stalker does fall. Adepts, they then no shade here on the right-hand side. Not many Lings left over. They will get into the mineral line. Just 2. 2 of them shade in. SKillous reinforcing as best he can. Making a very messy setup here as Rogue goes for the drop lords into the main. Does drop in. Does threaten the mineral line, but so far SKillous, he keeps up. Doesn't lose too much. Your burrow is revealed. And SKillous, did he notice? Did he notice that burrow? He must have this time. Gonna be forced back. Oracle's racing back home with a revelation. And does SKillous know? Does he land that revelation? Oh! There we go. Gets the Lings in the main. But the still Lings are at the natural. And he does notice. Let's go. Now, as SKillous is busy cleaning up all these Lings, Rogue, he re-expands. He double expands. Takes the triangular 3rd base alongside the base on the right-hand side as well. Does take both expansions. Likewise, Hive is on the way. Researching into Hive and building up towards Lurker Tech. On the one hand, as I mentioned before, we did stick with Ling Hydra for a little bit longer in this game, but the end goal, as always here for Rogue, is Lurkers. That is his end goal. That is his win condition. Can he get into lurker attack? He's almost there. Fun fact, these Hydras don't even have any upgrades. Hydra range just now finishing, Hydra speed just now beginning here. Again, the Hydra upgrades are delayed. Prioritizing the lurker den and the hive. As they are finishing up. You know, skills coming here into Mass Stalker. And can he break this location? There's not that many Lings. Oh, and not many Lings to defend. Lurkers are spotted. Skills, he wants to break through. Can he? Trading well. Picks up Hydras. Hydras are going down. Nice spin control, but alas, he will not get on top of the Lurkers. Lurkers, they finish morphing in just in time. Gets another revelation. Ooh, Skillous, he's unaware of the expansion. Unaware of the hatchery. Oh no! As Lings, they flood in. The wall is not a wall. Gets into the main. Once again, can always burrow. Can and probably will. Yeah, it does burrow in the main. Likewise, hatchery is saved just barely. Skill's gonna be rotating instead. It looks like he may come across a stray expansion. Oh my god. As the revelation does miss the lurkers. Did miss the lurkers. Rogue has momentum. He's close to maxing out. Oh my god. Oh no! Blinks in. And we'll take these financials to the face. And Skills, he should not be here. He's getting caught out. He's getting surrounded. Lurkers, they collapse in from the front, from behind as well. Comes in for the surround. Skills, he will escape with some stalkers, but he lost every High Templar. Yeah, these are just expensive losses for Skillous. And he's on a decent economy, but he can't sustain this. Not this many losses, not that quickly. And Rogi's coming in for the kill. Rogi's almost max, is up 40 supply, pushes out towards that fourth. He's throwing Skills away from his own expansion. And this fourth bait is forfeit. I mean, how does he save it? How can he? He's just locked out of the expansion. Workers are pulled away. Base is gonna fall. Skillous trying to engage, trying to hold on. Instead of going for a massive zealot counterattack. But alas, he will lose it. And Nexus falls likewise, drop into the main. Go for the lurker drop. Zealots, they will hit the mineral line. This is good damage, but it's too late. Unfortunately, this time it is too little too late. Rogue moving forward, it takes down the Tempest. Tempest goes down. Rogue is overwhelming. Against Skills, he played out this series very well, making it all the way to the ace match, but was overly aggressive previously. He got caught one too many times. Got caught twice actually in this game, if you recall. Ice slow zone. You just can't touch this army though. You cannot touch these lurkers. Not like this. Not like this, Pappy. Trying to force his way in. Will clean up the lurkers eventually, but at the cost of 20 probes and an expansion. Lings, they just keep flooding in. Bust into the main base once again. Skillous, he's forced into his own all-in. And he does have a large army, that is true, but breaking a siege line like this is still not easy. Yeah, so there are, what, 4 lurkers, soon to be 6. He will collapse in this. He will just surround this army from behind. Corruptors, they shut down the mothership. There's not that much on the ground though. The Archons are breaking through. Do we have too many Corruptors? Dead supply. Dead supply. The Corruptors. Lurkers are falling, and somehow, someway, Skillous, he can bust into the natural. He can break into the natural. He can get a kill here in the natural base at least. But over time, Rogue is still massing up an army. Very impressive fight from Skillous. Oh, barely doesn't get the Lurker. Yeah, barely not. Lurker does burrow in time. Again, just an overcommitment here to these Corruptors is not helping. Apple running out of Archons. Yeah, running out of Archons, running out of steam here. GG gets called as there's nothing left. And Rogue, he will take the series 2-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Didn't make it easy for himself at the end there, as he did overmake Corruptors and did not really have much on the ground to support the Lurkers. So that was an impressive fight to end it for SKillous, but in the end he was overwhelmed. In the end he just ran out of steam, and again he was all in. GG. GG, well played, was all in, wasn't quite enough to break Rogue, and with that, Rogue, he will claim the series, will advance on into the next round. Congratulations. Congratulations. A shout to SKillous, shout to Nikita. Again, he did play this out very well. There's a world out there where SKillous even 2-0s, I'll be honest. The game on Amygdala was quite close, and if only SKillous had gotten that second Stargate faster, I can definitely see Amygdala going SKillous's way as well. So it was close. It was a close series in the end. GG. GG, well played. Rogue, he will claim it, and let's head on over here to our bracket to catch up on the rest of the tournament.